Hare Krishna everyone. Let's make a start. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Jai Gir Varidhari Jai Gopijana Vallabha Jai Gir Varidhari Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tirvanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jayo Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agyan Timirnasya Gyan Anjana Shalakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruhu Shri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavcha Shri Rupam Sagrijatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivan Sadhuvetam Savadavatam Prajna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagat Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pran Mami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatu Priyascha Kirpa Sindhavevacha Paditana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauramani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Go Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Mukam Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Grim Yat Kirpatahum Vande Shri Gurundin Taram Paramananda Madam Shritaneshram Hariyam Tassat Narayam Namaskritya Naram Chevanuttamam Devim Sassuvyasam Tato Jaimaduriyat Nashta Presha Abdareshu Nityam Bhagavad-Sevayā Bhagavati Uttashloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtaki. Okay, so Hare Krishna everyone, thank you for joining. Let's continue. Nearly finished this chapter now, the Lord in the heart, and we shall progress to few final verses, 31 to 33 today, and 34 to 37 on Monday, and Wednesday we can have a overview in the evening. No program in the morning, overview in the evening. So, what did we say last time? We said that chanting, we're talking about the Bhakti Kripa, that the seed is given by the Guru, and then the seed fructifies and it grows into a Kripa, which reaches all the way to Goloka Vrindavan and to the feet of Radha Krishna, to the Lord, lotus feet of the Lord. So we have to be like a gardener. We have to protect that kripa of bhakti, so it does not get damaged. Its nourishment is not shared by weeds that can grow in your bhakti. So chanting and hearing is the water that we give, and we're growing the bhakti kripa. Take out the weeds, fence off the kripa, and we said about 8 things that we can do. And we also comparing what kind of thing the yogi has to do to leave this material world, whereas all the coverings open up for the devotee to go through, all the doors open so the devotee can go through. It doesn't have to endeavor so hard to achieve the same results. And as we're discussing, said that this is why a mentor is necessary. I think Pundika Prabhu mentioned that sometimes you don't know but which are weeds and which is part of your bhakti. So yeah, this is why we should have a mentor you can discuss with, that is this a weed in my bhakti, or is this conducive, these feelings or this action, this attitude or this attachment, is it a weed or is it something that is useful in my bhakti? So yeah, so have a mentor, and your mentor should also have a mentor. It's all about disciplic succession in in Krishna consciousness. We're touching somebody's feet, a senior, that senior is touching somebody else's feet, and that senior of his senior will be at least touching the feet of the Lord of Srila Prabhupada. So it's a disciplic succession. We're all following each other. We're helping anyone who is below, has not reached our level. So we help them. So the process goes on. Okay. So 31. Tenatmanatmananam apeti shantam anandam anandamayo vasane etam gati bhagavatim gato yaha savai puna neha vishjate anga. So tena, by that purified, atmana, by the self, atmanam, the super soul, upeti, attains, shantam, rest, anandam, satisfaction, anandamaya, naturally so being, avasane, being free from all material contamination, etam, such, gatim, destination, bhagavatim, devotional, gadha, attained by, yaha, the person, saha, he, Vai, certainly, punha, again, na, never, iha, in this material world, vishjate, becomes attracted, anga, O Maharaj Parikshit. Only the purified soul can attain the perfection of associating with the personally Godhead in complete bliss and satisfaction in his constitutional state. Whoever is able to renovate such devotional perfection is never again attracted by this material world, and he never returns. So we should especially note in this verse the description of Gatim Bhagavatim. to become merged in the rays of the Par Brahman, the Supreme Personal Godhead, as desired by the Brahmavadi impersonalist, is not Bhagavatam perfection. The Bhagavats never accept merging in the impersonal rays of the Lord. In fact, as we were saying last time, that's considered an offense or a weed in our bhakti. But always aspire after personal association with the Supreme Lord in one of the Vaikuntha spiritual planets in the spiritual sky. The whole of the spiritual sky, of which the total number of the material skies is only an insignificant part, is full of unlimited numbers of Vaikuntha planets. And as we know, the material world, with these unlimited universes, unlimited planets, unlimited jivas, still only quarter of the spiritual world. In fact, you cannot, put a size or a number on anything, because Krishna is unlimited, his energies are unlimited. The destination of the devotee, the Bhagavata, is to enter into one of the Vaikuntha planets, in each of which the personal Godhead, in his unlimited personal expansions, enjoys himself in the association of unlimited numbers of pure devotee associates. Even the pure devotees are unlimited. The conditioned souls in the material world, after gaining emancipation by devotional service, are promoted to these planets. But the number of ever liberated souls is far, far greater than the number of conditioned souls in the material world. And the ever liberated souls in the Vaikuntha planets never care to visit this miserable material world. So, this is ever liberated souls far, far greater than the number of conditioned souls in the material world. So, this is so amazing. So we take it as our, say, compared to us, when we are in association of a few friends and someone else who's not as much a friend, we just completely ignore them, don't we? Because we have our good association, we are happy, we're having fun. We don't need to speak to someone who we may speak to if we are on our own. We might, communicate with them and spend some time with them. But when you have your best friends with you, then you really don't, acknowledge them too much. And here's Krishna. He has got far greater ever liberated souls, and yet he cares for us, still cares for us. He's always with us. He's always making arrangements for us. He wants us to come back home. How amazing is that? That is some patience and tolerance. And, he cares for every jiva, no matter what body they have currently been given. He still cares. This is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. This is telling us how great Krishna is. We can externally, we can, say how great Krishna is by, like chapter 10 in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna is the source of everything. But when you look at the detail, his eternal position, his internal mindset, then you say, yeah, that is Krishna. Something that we can't see. That is so amazing that he still cares, even though he doesn't need to. We wouldn't be missed. We would not be missed. In the spiritual world, because he's got so many devotees already there that are totally dedicated to him. The impersonalists who aspire to merge in the impersonal Brahmajyoti effulgence of the Supreme Lord, but have no conception of loving devotional service to him in his present form in the spiritual manifestation, may be compared to certain species of fish who, being born in the rivers and rivulets, migrate to the great ocean. They cannot stay in the ocean indefinitely, for the urge for sense gratification brings them back to the rivers and streams to spawn. Similarly, when the materialist becomes frustrated in his attempts to enjoy himself in the limited material world, he may seek impersonal liberation by merging either with the causal ocean or with the impersonal Brahmjyoti effulgence. Okay, so this is something new. He may seek impersonal liberation by merging either with the causal ocean or with the impersonal Brahmjyoti. However, as neither the causal ocean nor the impersonal Brahmjyoti effulgence affords any superior substitute for association and engagement of the senses, the impersonalist will fall again into the limited material world to become entangled once more in the wheel of births and deaths, drawn on by the inextinguishable desire for sensual engagement. But any devotee who enters the kingdom of God by transcendental engagement of his senses in devotion service, and who associates with the liberated souls and the personality of Godhead, they will never be attracted to the limited surroundings of the material world. In the Bhagavad-Gita 8:15, also the same is confirmed, as the Lord says, the great Mahatmas or the Bhakti Yogis, after attaining my association, never come back to this material world, which is full of miseries and is non-permanent. So, dukkhalyam shashvatam. Though highest perfection of life, therefore, is to attain his association and nothing else, the Bhakti Yogi, being completely engaged in the Lord's service, has no attraction for any of the process of liberation like Jnana or Yoga. A pure devotee is 100% devotee of the Lord and nothing more. So we should further note in this verse the two words Shantam and Anandam, which denote that devotional service of the Lord can really bestow upon the devotee two important benedictions, namely peace and satisfaction. The impersonal is desirous of becoming one with the Lord, with the Supreme, or in other words, he wants to become the Supreme. This is a myth only. The mystic yogis become encumbered by the various mystic powers and so have neither peace nor satisfaction. So neither the impersonalist nor the yogi can have real peace and satisfaction, but the devotee can become fully peaceful and satisfied because of association with the complete whole. Therefore, merging in the absolute or attaining some mystic powers has no attraction for the devotee. So attainment of love of God means complete freedom from all the other attractions. The conditioned soul has many aspirations, such as becoming a religious man, a rich man, or a first-class enjoyer, or becoming God himself, or becoming powerful like the mystics and acting wonderfully by getting anything or doing anything. But all these aspirations should be rejected by the prospective devotee who actually wants to revive his dormant love of God. The impure devotee aspires after all of the above mentioned material things by perfection of devotion. But a pure devotee, the impure devotee aspires after all of the above mentioned material things by perfection of devotion, but a pure devotee has none of the tinges of the above contaminations. They don't want anything, which are the influence of material desires, impersonal speculations, and attainment of mystic powers. One can attain the stage of love of God by pure devotional service or by a learned labor of love for the sake of the devotee's lovable object, the personality of Godhead. To be clear, if one wants to attain the stage of love of God, he must give up all desires for material enjoyment. He should refrain from worshipping any of the demigods, and he should devote himself only to the worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He must give up the foolish idea of becoming one with the Lord and to desire to have some wonderful powers just to get to the ephemeral adoration of the world The pure devotee is only favorably engaged in the service of the Lord without any hope of emolument. This will bring about love of Godhead on the stage of Shantam and Anandam as stated in this verse. Amazing. Yeah, so you shouldn't have any personal agenda. That's the thing. You shouldn't have personal agenda, because then Krishna, he's not happy that you're doing this for your own satisfaction, not for his satisfaction. Then what is the point? You have other attractions. Krishna is all attractive, so all attraction should be for him, and then the relationship makes sense. And yatha mam prapadante. So whatever, if you give him 100%, he'll give you 100% back, or he'll give you 108%. So Krishna is looking for sincerity and devotion. Give him your heart. You only have one heart, and once you've given it to him, then you don't need to look anywhere else. But if you're sharing your heart, with material attraction, then that does not work. That is not complete. So 31. Okay, nothing more to add on that one. So 32. Ete shriti te nirpaveda gite tavya vipraste cha sanatane cha ye vai pura brahman ahatushta aradito bhagwan vasudeva. So all that is described, Shriti vai te unto you, Nirpa O Maharaj Parikshit, Veda Gita according to the version of the Vedas, Tavya by your majesty, Avi Priste being properly inquired, Cha also, Sanatane in the matter of eternal truth, Cha verily, ye which way certainly, Pura before, Brahmane unto Lord Brahma, Aha said Tushta being satisfied, Araditaha being worshipped, Bhagwan the personal Godhead, Vasudeva Lord Krishna. So your majesty, Maharaj Parikshit, know that all that I have described in reply to your proper inquiry in just according to the version of the Vedas, and it is the eternal truth. This was described personally by Lord Krishna unto Brahma, with whom the Lord was satisfied upon being properly worshipped. The two different ways of reaching the spiritual sky and thereby getting emancipation from all material bondage, namely either the direct process of reaching the kingdom of God or the gradual process through the higher planets of the universe, are set forth exactly according to the version of the Vedas. So the yogi, does he want to go back home, or does he want to go to the higher planets and then live with Brahma? The Vedic versions in this connection are Yada sarve pramuchante Kama ye sya hridi shritaha atha mrityo amrito bhavati atra brahma sam shnute. So Brihad Aranyak Upanishad 447 and te achir abhisambhavanti, again Brihad Aranakya Upanishad 6-15, means that those who are free from all material desires, which are diseases of the heart, are able to conquer death and enter the kingdom of God through the HG planets. These Vedic versions corroborate the version of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and the latter is further confirmed by Shukadeva Goswami, who confirms that the truth was disclosed by the Supreme Personality Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, Vasudeva to Brahma, the first authority on Vedas. The disciplic succession holds that the Vedas were uttered by Lord Krishna to Brahma, by Brahma to Narad, and by Narad to Vyasadeva, and by Vyasadeva to Shukadeva Goswami, and so on. So there is no difference between the versions of all the authorities. The truth is eternal, and as such, there cannot be any new opinion about the truth. That is a way of knowing the knowledge contained in the Vedas. It is not a thing to be understood by one's erudite scholarship or by the fashionable interpretations of mundane scholars. There is nothing to be added and nothing to be subtracted, because the truth is the truth. One has to accept, after all, some authority. The modern scientists are also authorities for the common man for some scientific truths. The common man follows the version of the scientist. This means that the common man follows the authority. The Vedic knowledge is also revealed in that way, and the common man cannot argue about what is beyond the sky or beyond the universe. He must accept the versions of the Vedas as they are understood by the authorized disciplic succession. In the Bhagavad-Gita, also the same process of understanding the Gita is stated in the 4th chapter. If one does not follow the authoritative version of the Acharyas, he will mainly search after the truth mentioned in the Vedas. So things that we cannot work out ourselves. So just to translation was, Your Majesty Maharaj Parikshit, know that all that I have described in reply to your proper inquiry, just according to the version of Vedas, and it is the eternal truth. This was described personally by Lord Krishna unto Brahma, with whom the Lord was satisfied upon being properly worshipped. So, yeah, so it's all come in the disciplic succession. So we have to trust, have faith in the Vedas, and trust the Vedas, and know that they have come all the way from Krishna in a disciplic succession. And a lot of this stuff, the scientists still haven't worked out, and we can't work anything out, because it involves obviously a lot of studying and time and qualification. So this is 32. Important to follow the parampara process all the way from Krishna. So it's better we follow the parampara association. Things that there's something that we just cannot work out, or will take forever to work out. So it's best to follow a reputable knowledge giving source. Okay. 33. So nahi ato anya shiva pantha vishatta samsrita iha vasudeva bhagavati bhakti yoga yata bhavet. So never, he certainly, atha, beyond this, anya, any other, shiva, auspicious, shivaha, auspicious, pantaha means vishattaha, wandering, samsrutau, in the material world, iha, in his life, vasudeva, unto Lord Vasudeva, Krishna, Bhagavati, the personal Godhead, Bhakti Yoga, direct devotional service, Yatha, wherein Bhavet may result in. So for those who are wandering in the material universe, that's us, there is no more auspicious means of deliverance than what is aimed at in the direct devotional service of Lord Krishna. As will be clarified in the next verse, devotional service, direct Bhakti Yoga, is the only absolute auspicious means of deliverance from the grip of material existence. There are many indirect methods for deliverance from the clutches of material existence, but none of them is easy and auspicious as Bhakti Yoga. The means of Gyan and Yoga and other allied disciplines are not independent in delivering a performer. Such activities help one to reach a stage of Bhakti Yoga after many, many years. Bahunam Janmanam Ante. So in the Bhagavad-Gita 12.5, it is said that those who are attached to the impersonal feature of the Absolute are liable to many troubles in the pursuit of their desired goal. And the empiricist philosophers searching after the Absolute Truth realize the importance of Vasudeva realization as all in all after many, many births. As far as yoga systems are concerned, it is also said in the Bhagavad-Gita 6.47 that amongst the mystics who pursue the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the pursuit of the Absolute Truth, the one who is always engaged in the Service of the Lord is the greatest of all. And the last instruction in the Bhagavad-Gita 1866 advises fully surrendering onto the Lord, leaving aside all other engagements or different processes for self-realization and liberation from material bondage. And the purport of all Vedic literatures is to induce one to accept the transcendental loving service of the Lord by all means. As already explained in the text of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam first canto, either direct bhakti yoga or the means which ultimately culminate in bhakti yoga without any tinge of activity constitute the highest form of religion. Everything else is simply a waste of time for the performer. Srila Sridhar Swami and all of the Acharyas like Jiva Goswami agree that bhakti yoga is not only easy, simple, natural, free from trouble, but is the only source of happiness for the human being. So there you are. It's been confirmed that there are so many ways to practice bhakti, but the most auspicious way, the most satisfactory way, and the fastest way, the shortest route is by bhakti yoga. This is the method. There are other methods, but why go in a roundabout way something when you can go directly, reaching the same goal in a direct way. So bhakti yoga is confirmed that is the best way, and that is what we're doing. This is what Srila Prabhupada has recommended to us, that follow bhakti. Don't go climbing the yoga ladder, just go straight to bhakti and your mission will be successful. So just mention that the absolute here means it is true in the past, present and future. So the absolute was mentioned here somewhere. I can't see it at the moment. Oh yeah, okay. So it is also said that in the Bhagavad-Gita, the monks and mystics who pursue the absolute truth, so and searching after the absolute truth, and they hear before that feature of the absolute truth are liable. So the absolute meaning is true in the past, present and future. The other methods in the Vedas also work, but they take a long time. The Vedas, there's something for everyone there, but they take a long time. There may be difficulties, and you will have to come to the stage of bhakti yoga eventually. If you don't come straight away, then after going through all the different processes, then your final process will be bhakti yoga, because that is the last gateway before you go into the spiritual world. So you have to go through bhakti. That's the only way. So even like the yogis, when they leave, if they even go to Satyalok, and they'll find that people are doing bhakti there, they'll have to join and do the bhakti there before they can enter kingdom of God. In Bhagavad-Gita 1866, Krishna doesn't say give up all types of adharma. He says give up all other dharma processes, just surrender on to me. So this is very interesting. So Krishna not saying that give up all. I mean, naturally, you should. It's only common sense that you got to give up all bad habits. I mean, first we have regulations to follow anyway. But he's not talking about, even though I'm talking about the adharma, you well past that. That's not even, it doesn't even qualify to do bhakti if you're doing adharma. So that is the prerequisite to your bhakti. You must give up all the adharma, right? Follow dharma, but not dharma that you have concocted or somebody has told you about. Follow dharma that Lord Krishna has recommended. You follow that dharma, and that's dharma he's talking about in 866. Give up all other dharmas, not all of the dharmas. Give up all other dharmas. Follow dharma, which I am saying to you. Excellent. Okay. So we'll stop here. Okay. So we'll start with Kiran Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hope you well.
Hare Krishna. Yes, we're all well here. Thank you. Every morning I'm just blown away. This morning is no exception. We've been cultivating this garden for a long, long time. And we sometimes forget there's a head gardener who's been telling us all you got to look at is the handbook of gardening that I've given to you since time immemorial. And this is the only book that you require. You know, let go of all the other gardening books. You know, this book will teach you about how to maintain, how to water, how to eliminate the weeds, everything you need to know about growing your creeper, making it stronger, making it more lush, making it more acceptable to receiving more and more. I've given you, you know, but every so often we are a product of Maya Devi. And so somebody comes along and says, oh, I've got some new seeds. Do you want to try these? Right. And we've been fooled, told that this seed will produce everything under the one tree. And we find that all we have been done is misled. And so we have to get back. So we have to get back to the original Shastras. They have told us definitively the process of bhakti yoga to realize the absolute truth, that to follow the paramparic succession, to recognize that there were previous gardeners and acharyas who've been cultivating this for years and years and thousands of years, that they couldn't have been wrong. Right. And therefore, why do we need to reinvent the wheel when everything was set in Shastra and in stone? There was no need to re-establish what is the absolute truth. And so this process has been made easy for us. We don't need to distill much more. We just need to go and continue with the tried and tested method to try and look at how to climb a rope to levitate is foolish, because science and other philosophies will not allow us to do that. Radhanath Swami, in his book, The Journey Home, experienced and saw all sorts of siddhis and siddhas and all sorts of mystics. He said, ultimately, there's only one thing that touched his heart, and that was the love of the lotus-eyed one, the blue-skinned one. And that is ultimately our love, to fructify this tree and to nourish it. That's why we do what we do each morning. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Yeah, it's very nice. Okay, Hina Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you so much. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Some very nice topics covered off here. One of the key things that stood out for me was around the topic of purification of the heart and our consciousness. It says, and these are my own thoughts really, that when we talk about purification, well, our soul is already pure, but our consciousness has been covered. This is my understanding. So it's been covered by material desires, ego, attachment, and now there's like anger, greed, ignorance, etc. But through devotional practice, those coverings are removed. But So in one sense, you can almost argue that everybody is a pure is a pure devotee in some respect, but they've just been covered. And then we talked about how the great devotees, the great Mahatmas, never come back to this material universe. And Krishna confirms this in the Bhagavad-Gita. And I've read that a pure devotee's desire is to serve Krishna wherever Krishna wants him or her to be. They don't care about liberation. They just want to serve, whether it's on heaven or in hell. As long as they're serving, they'll be happy. So to them, it's not about attaining freedom of liberation. And then the other area was around how bhakti is the most direct route back to Krishna, and all our Vedic scriptures point to this. It's not everybody kind of picks up on these messages. Even within the Hindu faith, I think people tend to get a little bit lost, and it's hidden. These messages are there, but maybe they're not picking it up. But all like other yoga paths will take a very long time and a difficult path. If you were following that as a way to try to connect and go back to Godhead, but we don't have that time. So our human life is too short. So we should just use the elevator, which is Bhakti Yoga, really, the direct route. Those were the key things for me. And then this around surrender as well, which was lastly talked about in the last verse about Krishna wants us to surrender, but this doesn't mean giving up our responsibilities or losing our identity. He wants us to place our trust, our heart, our purpose, our life's purpose in him, in Krishna. So what we're trying to do when we surrender is that we're trying to align our purpose, our true nature, in loving service to Krishna and make him the center. So that's just a few sort of my humble thoughts. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Madhuri. Yeah. I think the problem is that everybody, whatever they're following, it seems like that they think that is the elevator, isn't it? This is what's happening. I think their way is the fastest one, and their way is the best, and there is no other way. And sometimes you can't even see you go to a big hotel and you can see the stairs, but you can't see the elevator. It's probably hidden somewhere around the corner. You need to ask, where is the elevator, or you just assume that okay, this is the only way up. So like that, people don't. I mean, we didn't know at the time that there is an elevator. We were following. My parents were following all sorts of. They're going to Baba Balaknath and Durga Mata and Nankari mission. So many missions they followed, and we just followed along with them. And we always thought that was the best. That was the fastest way, because we all always looking for God, but we don't know the shortest route. We think that is the parents saying that is the way, then that must be the way. But as you grow, start investigating yourself, or Krishna makes arrangements for you that maybe due to a previous life, to go some sukritis, and he puts us in the right place. Then you compare. Hold on, this is what the scriptures are saying. Actually, this is the way. And you find a lot of these missions that they don't follow universal scripture or the Vedas. They write their own books, right? So they can put whatever they want in there, isn't it? Just read that and just follow that. So yeah, it's important to follow the scriptures. Bhagavatam, Bhagavad-Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and these are specific for us.
The commentaries of the Acharyas.
And the commentary of the Acharyas that we know. So I think we've got to be intelligent about things. Thank you, Mataji. Vijay Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, excuse me. I thought the big point that you yourself made that you know, that Krishna's got unlimited number of jivas who are, you know, his closest to him, and he's really close to them, and yet he still wants to be close to us who are like turned our face away from him. He still wants us, and I thought that's such a strong point, and it's almost incredible, hard to believe that we're still wanted, because in the material world, if we go off with someone, we disagree with them or something, the last thing you want to do is bring them closer to yourselves, you know. So, and Krishna, he's able to overcome that. Obviously, he can overcome anything, but that it's still, he doesn't have to, and he does. So I find that so wonderful and assuring. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, he has unlimited everything. He has unlimited patience for us. How many times we've let him down, and we look the other way. We have preferred to enjoy senses rather than serve him, which is our constitutional position, and life after life after life, millions of lives, but he has not given up on us. He's still there. I mean, your parents give up on the children when they say enough is enough. No, you do what you want. Krishna said actually, he says you do what you want, but he's still there, watching us, hoping that one day we will understand what the difference between right and wrong, or what is the best for this body, like that. He waits and waits. He does not look the other way. He's always looking at. We're the one who's looking the other way. He's still always waiting to take us back. Thank you, Prabhuji. Is Mataji there? Vijay Prabhu?
No, actually we're doing babysitting, and she's looking after the grandchildren.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhu. Okay, so then we come to Ajay Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Again, Prabhupada, I always say there's a lot of repetition within the purports within Shastra, but again, there's another distraction, the causal ocean. Some would want to go there, which is it's amazing. That's the border. That's where that's where you leave from. You come to the material world. That's not where you want to go back to. Mahavishnu is only operating within that, so just to give us that ability to enjoy the material world, which we only understand the mercy of devotees, the mercy of gurus is actually foolishness. But again, Krishna, such is the mercy that he actually allows us to enjoy without him. Not yet, he leaves the option open that when you realize that actually this is not going to satisfy you, that then you can take back to what will satisfy you, which is lovingly serving him, and then naturally he reciprocates as well. That seems to be forgotten, unfortunately, even by those that have been in the movement for a long time. They forget that it's a the reciprocation there. It's not just all one way, and so that can be frustration sometimes for some people, because they feel like they aren't getting what they're putting into it. But that's not true. Even from the start, Krishna is maintaining you. He's giving facility. He's not like you said. He never quits on you. Therefore, the reciprocation actually is far more from Krishna than the other way around. Krishna actually doesn't expect that much from us in the grand scheme of things. It's a bit of case of very concerted effort. I think that's the key there. Sometimes you put a bit of effort in, sometimes you slack off. You can put some concerted effort where you're trying to improve on your bhakti every day. Then that's the difference between those that have really advanced and those that are just motoring along slowly. And it can be hard sometimes, because we do come across certain issues within our life, and then that can distract us or just simply confuse us at times. But again, Krishna is giving us the opportunity that even if we can find different ways to distract ourselves or just find different options to try to ignore him, if there is some sincerity there from us, he will bring us back to him. And that's why we need to try to avoid these issues that way we become forgetful, because then we just end up what do you call saying, why have why am I wasting my time doing silly things when I could have been doing, following the sublime aim, just that's Krishna Bhakti. Yeah, so that's just one of those things. Sometimes there's that Krishna consciousness, of course, it's being conscious of actually what you're doing. And then, like it's said, sometimes Bhakti is the best method, and we just need to follow that method. And then do that, then things become easier, and then things actually, you will find it actually process opens up for you. But sometimes you think, oh, why is it going my way? But actually, you have to sometimes a bit of patience. Sometimes it's maybe trying to take advantage of the association of devotees who might know better or can actually offer you actually have the facility to help you progress. And that's the thing. We just have to be open to taking that mercy. So ultimately, if we do that, then we can progress faster. If you're not open to the mercy, then things get delayed, and that's when problems arise. And so it's certainly not a case of shut shop at any time. We just have to kind of realize that there are challenges that we have to deal with, and just take the bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's a good point. Be open to the mercy, and first we got to find out, how can Krishna give us mercy, and then, we always. So very important to know what makes Krishna give us mercy, and one way is to make sure you don't break any of the 10 offenses that Krishna has given us, not to break any of those. The stronger you are in your endeavor to stick to breaking those 10 offenses, the more chance you have got Krishna to give you his mercy. Very important. When you break when you do offenses, then Krishna, is not open so much to give mercy.
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, I really like the analogy of the fish in verse 31, when Prabhupada is saying that the impersonalists who are trying to go into the Brahmajyoti or the effulgence are just like those fish, certain species of fish who are born in some rivers, and when they migrate to the great ocean, they don't want to stay in the great ocean. They want to come back to that river to enjoy themselves. And amazing analogies Prabhupada gives, And I think we are one of those fishes. We just go and we are brought into the ocean of bhakti, and then for a certain time the bhakti seems very nice, and for example, in this life also, we all are who are sitting here, and many devotees who are doing the different sanghas, who are trying to get together, are actually trying to, yes, Kiran Prabhu, that the salmon fish. We are exactly like those fishes, the salmon fishes, that we've been brought into the ocean of bhakti. We're trying to do bhakti. We understand a lot of things, but the marketing and the ad campaigns going around in this world of the different companies who are trying to sell their products, and different countries and this and that, they're so strong that they are very, very much able to lure us. So how they're saying that people are buying too much, they're buying what they don't need, from food to clothes and this and that, and how they're just dumping the things which they don't want. And this is causing so much problem, because this is where that simple living, high thinking is lost. Everybody thinks that, yes, we are doing simple living and high thinking, but when we do the inventory, when we do the introspection, we find out that, look into your fridge, for example, or into your pantry, there's so many things. You're very careful, but still you end up doing some buying which is not needed. Same with your clothes. You've got so many clothes, and I think ladies and even the men, I think these days they become so fashion conscious that they got to be up to date. Even their closets are full up to the brim. So this concept of simple living is totally lost. It's just a lip service to that concept, because we are not applying it to our lives. And even if each one of us did a little bit of introspection in this department, I think life will become simple, and then there'll be more time available to do bhakti. I think that's the biggest problem in this modern world and how it is progressing, that everybody complains about time, because the time is lost in the wrong pursuits. Even one thinks that they have become very conscious in their habits, and they're trying to become Krishna conscious, but it's so easy to succumb to the things around you. And that's why reading these purports and discussing them becomes so important, that at least whenever we sit down or whenever we do a little reading on our own or hearing on our own, when we are not in this sangha, we are reminded. And so we are actually fortunate than the ones who don't even get this chance to, because their time has not come yet, maybe later on in their life or maybe in the other lives. So these purports and Prabhupada through these purports reminds us the message of the Vedas which is given in a concentrated form in the Bhagavatam for all of us, is repeated again and again in these purports very nicely, that this is not our home is somewhere else. We are just tourists, we're just on a visa, and when this visa expires we'll have to move on. And it's so nice that to hear each and everyone's insights and their realizations and what they have learned from the verses liberates our own thinking every time we are in the Sangha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, thank you so much. And we'll complete it on Monday. So look forward to joining you then and hearing from you all. So Granth Rashi Bhagavatam Jai,
Jai Srila
Prabhupada
Prabhupada
ki
Jai.
Jai. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Krishna. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.